Esperamos que me digas que sí, tú consideras. Si tenía cosas valiosas, he visto a alguien vendiéndolo.
Si quieres agua, tienes aquí botellas.
No, tengo mi termo chino. Y con agüita caliente para esto. Hombre, el gran jefe. ¿Cómo estás? Igualmente. Brechinas con termo. De todas formas, el lunes vuelvo a estar aquí. Tengo 5 horas el lunes del curso de Athens, el de geopolítica de tecnología. Y soy yo el culpable. Estaré aquí en 5 horas. Que yo cuento geopolítica de tecnología y luego les explico cómo hacer forecasting, backcasting y luego les pongo a trabajar. O sea, que estaré por aquí todo, lo digo por si estás por aquí, quieres tomarte un pasarte o echar una mano, pues.
Uno, dos, probando, probando. Uno, dos, uno, dos, uno, dos.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. It is happy to see you here. I know that some of you went party after the dinner last night. I know that because I was there. But today you are going to enjoy as well. Do you remember the first time that you went out, that you went party? Probably you have to dispute or negotiate with an adult, maybe your mother, your father, something like that. And for those of you having a big brother or a big sister, probably it was much easier because the negotiations and the disputes had already happened at the time that you wanted to go party. Well, when we have this master program, we were very lucky because we had a big brother. And when we had to discuss with our mother university, you know that she is nice, but is a little conservative and she wants the better for us. But sometimes it is hard. And we have a big brother. That big brother is a master on artificial intelligence for government. And the person that led that master program is the first speaker today. I'm really happy to have Claudio Feijóo here. He's a field professor at the telecommunication school. He holds a Master of Science and a PhD in telecommunication engineering and a Master of Science in quantitative economics. He's now the head of entrepreneurship at UPN, which is one of the largest and more entrepreneurial and successful universities in Spain. He teaches on geopolitics, deep tech, innovation. He's a renowned expert. He holds the Jean Monnet Chair, that is an important acknowledgement of the European Union. And also it's an important asset of ELISA European University. So he knows very well the European Union, but also China, why not? And he was rector's delegate in Asia for many years, and he set up the first incubator between UPN and a Chinese university. Many lectures, many papers, many books. The CV of Claudio Feijóo is impressive. But he is more impressive when you know how we, the people, speak about him. And it is even more impressive when you have the chance to interact with him. I think that many of the key success factors of this project are coming from him. Maybe he just sent you 2 WhatsApp with 2 ideas, and then we are working on these 2 ideas for two years. Because I think he has one of the highest good idea to work ratios that I have met. So, but I stop flattering him, but it is really true. And now, Claudio, thank you very much for accepting to deliver this keynote lecture. I know that yesterday you were traveling, today you are giving other lectures. This master is very important for the partners, for ELISA, and also for this school. It's a flagship initiative. And just the last words to introduce the audience. In front of you, you have a cohort of people that they are coming from industry. They are diverse from 19 or 20 countries. They are coming from different companies, but they all share something, that they love what they do, and they want to be the leaders of the digital transformation of the build sector. So thank you very much for accepting, and to you, open your ears and enjoy the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Nacho. And good morning, everybody. But I realize, so I am invited for lecture, but I'm not invited to go dinner and drink. Come on. So this is rather unfair. Okay, so plan. I'm going to tell you my experience running the entrepreneurial activities at this university. And this university is a technical university, so it's connected with deep tech. So this has challenges. And it might be, I was thinking, it might be you're working for a large company now, or you're looking for a change or for a shift in your position, whatever you are. It might be it's interesting that you have and also a little bit of an understanding which are the chances or the opportunities, the challenges in startups, in small companies, because, well, they have an interesting combination, probably more fun, harder work, but maybe the rewards are also higher at some point. So maybe worth to explore it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit how things are standing in Europe, basically. So let's see. All right. So this is about me. Enough. Figures. I'm not going to stop on this, but these are the figures from my university. Maybe the most important thing is that every year we build like about 15 to 20 new companies. This is my job. So my job is looking for the founders for the technology, and then setting up the team and looking for initial seed funding and putting all together and trying to push and hold things. This is my job, basically. And okay, figures, a lot of them, and maybe also this is vaguely relevant. This is us, our university, and this is the rest of other entities, organizations doing the same in the Madrid region. So we think modestly that we are a little bit, yeah, thanks. This will help. This will, we are a little bit leading the pack. And if you are interested, because now you qualify, we usually, to start building these companies, we have a program for creation of startups. If you are interested and you feel like participating, here is the web link, and this is the code to access, and there are prizes, there's money. If you are interested in this, let me know and I'll help you. So this is 22 years already going on. Okay, so let's start with the talk. First, before putting this, deep tech. What is deep tech? What do you think makes a difference between tech and deep tech? Which is the key thing? Why deep tech? What is deep tech? Put me examples. What do you think is deep tech these days? Deep integration. I used to, this is deep tech is jargon from venture capitalists. But the word was, some years ago, it was more like high tech. But now people say deep tech instead of high tech. So basically it's, yes, technology that is complicated, that is difficult, that is challenging. Where to put the threshold? I don't know. Is AI deep tech? Well, it might be, it was, but these days it's starting to be like a more or less, I would say, conventional, or even if you think machine learning, one of the techniques within AI is almost legacy. It's something that every chain of manufacturing has some type of machine learning to maybe correct mistakes. But other examples of deep tech. Quantum, everything quantum is the super example of deep tech. More? Something that you think will impact in civil engineering. Augmented reality, but this is almost becoming also a little bit even legacy, but it's okay. It is in the picture. What else? What else? Okay, more things. Yeah, this is more advanced, machine learning, deep learning. Now we are in the days of the name is Gen AI, generative AI. These large language models. Well, the list. This is my list. It's not a complete list, but this is my list. Also thinking which are the technologies that might impact civil engineering, or let's say, because you are in digital twins, digital civil engineering. So for instance, satellites. These are, these LEO satellites, low Earth orbiting satellites. We are going to be surrounded by them. There are plans to launch tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands. And every big, whatever, infrastructure is going to be entangled with this type of, and you will need to use that for a simulation, for the digital version, integrating that information real time, before, after. And for example, something very important here, augmented humans. So you won't have regular workers, probably. This is coming, but augmented type of humans, and more and more and more. And it's not only each of them, but they tend to combine and merge. So my take, or one of my messages for you, you need to have at least a basic understanding, not to be expert, but a little bit, because this is going to influence for sure your future work. But my take today is we are trying to build companies on these areas. These are deep tech new companies, because we are a university. The full name is Deep Tech Spin-offs. Why spin-offs? Because they have technology that has been developed within the university, and we send them out. So this is the difference between a regular startup, okay, new company, and spin-off, because it has some technology coming from some type of research, typically from a university like us. Okay, so this is, and I was thinking, no one is calling me, and this is my, if I have to choose which are the technologies that will impact more digital twins, not putting digital twins in the middle, this is my selection. Of course, you will have the slides if you feel this is interesting, but this is my take. I might be wrong. But this is, for example, when lecturing for big companies, large companies in the civil engineering area, and in Spain we have a number of them, and you know the names, and even some of you are related with them. Well, this is what I discuss with them. Okay, so maybe you need to think, obviously, digital twins, data spaces, new materials, synthetic biology. This will change many things. Energy, Gen AI, cybersecurity, quantum communications to make this secure. My take. Okay, but I was thinking in using and becoming more practical. So, okay, fine. Thanks so much for your insight. But okay, what is important about this? So the question I'm going to try to discuss with you is the following. Okay, so we have deep tech, we have new companies, and which are the challenges, which are the opportunities in Europe to launch one of these? Because I think this might be provide you with an understanding of the opportunities, and maybe you can decide. So something practical, useful, hopefully for you. And I was thinking also to put an example. This is a real example. The only thing I took out the name of the company. This is a spin-off from the university that is trying to generate green hydrogen. They have like a new way of producing this hydrogen that we think that is more competitive, is cheaper, is simpler, is more sustainable. Okay. So, like, fantastic thing. This is a typical thing has been developed by researchers with the usual spin-off is not 20-year people. It's more like a seasoned researcher, maybe 20 years experience. So typically they are in the 40s. So they were aiming to become important researchers, but they are so good that they come out with a type of discovery or a new way of doing things. This is the usual circumstance. They are not entrepreneurs at all. At all. They are researchers. The only thing they stamp into a class with this might have a relevance. This is the case. So they have the intellectual property registered, they have the patents and how to do some type of breakthrough to produce hydrogen. And two important things here. Market opportunity, imagine. No? So you are better than the others producing hydrogen. So the sky is the limit. And do you know what is the meaning of this very important TRL here? Okay, and what means 4-5? TRL stands for Technology Readiness Level. How prepared is the technology to go to the market? It runs from 0, nothing. You are lost in a lab doing basic research, basic science, to 10, already in the market. What means 4-5? You are in the lab, you are still in the lab, you are still in the lab, but the technology is proven. It is working. It's not a theory. So probably you go into this lab and there's like a machine with cables hanging and maybe something in pop, no? A little bit, no? A little bit scary, but it's working. It is working. This is the other part. This is the material I work with. I'm looking all day, the university, trying to look for technologies that are in this level 4, because it means it's not just something that, okay, stands on paper, but this looks like can be taken to the market. No, it's viable. It's real. No? And then my work is moving this 4, TRL4, into 7. 7, it means it's a prototype, but it's a minimum MVP, a minimum viable product. It's a prototype that you can put in the market. Maybe it's ugly, and it's big instead of small, and it's doing only some basic functionalities, not the whole thing. But it is already. No? You can use it actually. This is the case. This is a real case. So I have this company here, now in 4.5. And I need your help to move it into 7.8, to really put it in the market. Okay, so let's think and how to help this company. Imagine you are one of the founders. So you are researchers, and you know about everything that should be known about how to produce hydrogen. You've been working 20 years at university, and now you want to become rich, or maybe you want to have an impact, no? Making both things. That is more probably. So, questions. What do you think are the difficulties? Tell me. We need to make a long list of difficulties. Which are the issues? Okay, funding, money. Okay, so let's yeah, I cannot write down, but because it's important you have them in the picture. So money, okay, you need money. Let's explore this. You need money to do what? But manufacturing is not in the state. You are still in the lab with this strange thing, no? With a device that looks dangerous. And manufacturing will be 8, 9, because then you have, let's say, a prototype works, and then you need to industrialize this prototype to make them a lot of smaller and better. But this is typically 8, 9. You are now 4. You want this money to do what? Yeah, this is one thing. Yeah, please. So you need to figure out this is working, but you need to figure out how to make it something that can be repeated, something that can be taken to a manufacturing process, standardize, order. You need to create this MVP, and for that, you are a researcher. Do you have the knowledge to do that typically? Do you know how manufacturing process or system works? No. So you need to hire, maybe you are a scientist, although these are engineers, but maybe you are a scientist and you need engineers. And maybe you need, I don't know, someone who's an expert in digital twins, because it needs to imagine a complex infrastructure to set up everything. And not only that, you also need to start thinking about how this is going to be distributed, which are the materials. Maybe for a lab, it's fantastic if you use a complicated material that is coming from far away, but it's very expensive, or now in these days can be subject to sanctions. And someone will say, hey, sorry, this is happening right now. You need gallium. No, you are in the list of countries where I'm not sending you this material. So you need to figure out if you have all the elements. Okay, so you need the money for that. You don't need, and this is bad news for you, because now you are in this company, you are the founders of this company. It's not money to go into your pocket. You will need to spend all of this money into something else. So you need to wait a little bit more. Well, we have money, and And the other thing, someone was saying, yeah. So you need to figure out this. But and who's got this knowledge? What do you think this knowledge is? So you are the founders, no? Think as the founders, technical founders, engineers, scientists. Where will you look for the people with this knowledge? Where are they? I don't know. You need maybe one of you, no? In this case, there are three. One of you will become the CTOs, no? The Chief Technical Officer. Will any of them become the CEO? I doubt it. Might be, because these are intelligent people and maybe they change. Huh? But where to look for the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer? Where will you look for that person? Industrial. And will you trust? How do you know if you can trust that person? Because you have 20 years of experience and you are at the top in your field. So what type of person do you want? You want also a person who's also top in whatever field. You don't want someone lousy or too young or unclear agenda. This is an important thing. Where to find the other part of the team. You have the technical founders, but where are the business founders? And how to look for them and how to create trust. Super important. It looks like a small thing. No, you're more worried about the market and the funding, but without the right people, this is like a rock band. So you have three people who want to play guitar. This is not going anywhere. You need a bass player. You need a drummer. What else? Which are the problems? Yeah. This is always a measure of intelligence. Every time that I go to a new position, I've been in many places throughout my life, I check if the boss is hiring smarter people than her or him, or people who are a little bit less. So if this is the second case, stay away, because it's an important message. No? Intelligent people always want more intelligent people around, because this is the best thing you can do. They will do the work for you, no? Instead of. All right. So yeah, this is also true for small companies. But what else? It's only that. So we have a team and we have money. What else? Time. What do you mean with time? There's something very important there. How many years will take? Imagine that everything goes fine. So they got the money and they also got the right business part of the team. How many years do you think they need until they are selling? Maybe for a company like this, imagine to set up like a manufacturing facility will cost in the range of 20 to 50 million euros. So when do you think they will be selling more or less in that range, in the tens of million euros? How many years? With everything going fine? Is 3 years, is 5 years, is 10 years, is 15 years? What do you think? This is super important, because this is what investors will be thinking. Investors will be thinking about time and the return of investment. And time is a key factor, because instead you can put your money in a bank and maybe get the 5% these days, okay? And who cares? So as time passes, you need a high return to compensate for that. So how many years do you think it will require a deep tech company to be profitable? 7, I hear 7. What do you think? More or less, rest of you? Less than 5, you think? Fernando? For a company like this, it will be a miracle of heaven if it's less than 7 or 8. So it's more in the ranges of 10. It will be a miracle. So you're telling people, investors, you're telling, hey, give me 20 million. Maybe not in a round. No, this is, Series A, B, C. There are rounds, no, for financing. Not in a single round, but yeah, over the years, yeah, we will need to raise 20, 30 million euros. So give me this money and don't ask me until 10 years. What do you think a typical investor would say? A typical investor is specialized in new companies. Do you think they would be willing to? Yeah. Okay, let's suppose it happens this way. So you have a fantastic business plan where everything is carefully planned on, and you are fulfilling whatever you're promising there. So okay, Matt, give me 1 million. Matt, give me 5 million. Matt, give me 10 million. Will it happen? You see investors. Will you put your own money? I see no. I see someone saying no. This is the super big problem in Europe. Risk aversion of investors. They tell you, what a fantastic business plan. Good. I see you are in TRL 4. When you reach TRL 7, come back to me and I will be glad to invest. So this is the issue. We have a gap. It's not at this university, it's not this case. This is the European gap. Moving projects from TRL 4 to 7. This is it. When you're in 7, yes, everybody wants to invest. Also me, because this is already working in the market and it looks like a prototype that is only, you still need to industrialize and to make everything, arrange everything, but it's much simpler. So why is not a gap in the US? Business angels. This is the issue. We don't have enough business angels who are willing to bet on projects, super risky projects. But typically, you put your money in, I don't know, in 10, and 1 will be a success, 2 will struggle, and the other 7 will die. And this is after selecting carefully, not randomly taking 10. This is after talking with an expert and doing due diligence and selecting the right technology, and you have some expertise because you have some experience. After this, only 1 will. If you only have money to make 1 bet, it's impossible. You need deep pockets, not deep tech, but deep pockets to bet on 10. So 1 will. That's the big important issue. I'm going to discuss with you how to solve them a little bit quickly. So I'm not worried about the slides. So you have all of this information ordered in the slides, so you will have them. But more important that we discuss. Let's see if we find another one, another issue. There are more, but I still want one more. So we have the money, but now we know it's a particular type of money that is connected with the time it takes to mature a deep tech startup. And also we know about the founders on the business side. But what else? Is that all? Well, this is typical of engineers, researchers come from a university or research center. They are always looking into the product. You need to make them raise and look into the market because they always want to complete. No, let me wait. I'm going to finalize something and make it a little bit better. Same as digital twins, by the way. While what you need to do is selling. And once you have already sold something, then you can keep on, no? or running the two things at the same time. Yes, this is of course a difficulty, but something at the stage where they are. You are researchers. You are founding this company. What are you afraid of? Failing? Yes, this is. And what happens if you fail? So failing means you're going to spend the next 4 years of your life working 7 days per week. Remember, you are in your 40s, so probably you have a partner and a couple of kids. But you will say, hey, sorry, Sundays I need to keep on because everything depends that I work every day, no, including weekends on this. And you spend in this way 3-4 years and you fail. And what happens? Is it important or not? Why is it important? Why is it important for you? Yeah, so you have lost all of your strength and also you came to the university because you wanted to become a professor. You wanted to become a full professor. You wanted to write fantastic technical papers with a high reputation in the best journals and go to conferences and explain that you're one of the top experts. And now I am telling you, don't become a researcher. You also, or it's better if you set up a spin-off because this will have a higher impact. These people, they don't have an entrepreneurial mindset. They are super conservative because they choose a very difficult life, studying and working a lot because they want some safety, security in their lives, becoming this domain, people with a high reputation. So I'm telling them to change. I'm not only telling them to change, I'm telling the whole system to change, the university to change, to help produce this and explain people, don't worry, you fail, your career is going to progress anyway, because this is going to be considered, no, in your CV, in your curriculum. Is this real? No. This is the other thing, psychology. All right. So rapidly, because I need to more or less be on time, I classify here the issues. There are more. And I'll explain you a couple of them that are maybe interesting for you. This is the one that I was explaining, but it's within the heads. Because engineers, they are conservative, not politically. It's simply because you want safety in life. Instead of going for something with higher risk, you decided, probably, I don't know, but maybe you choose digital twins master because you thought, this will increase safety in my life because now I have the new big thing. I'm also an expert, so I will have a job forever. All right. There are issues about the legal framework because of this first condition, being a little bit risk averse or scared of failing, you will feel more confident if you have a framework where, for example, you can be compatible staying at university and launching a company. So you have a fit. So this fails, doesn't matter. But if you need, or the university says, no, you need to choose professor or founder, and you say professor, because this is what you decided 20 years ago, not now. So the legal framework and if you can do the two things at the same time is a key element. And then I like to discuss this a little bit with you. What do you think it makes different? And Fernando was saying something that went in this direction. What makes a spin-off different from a regular startup? What makes Facebook, at the time was a startup, different from Tesla? It's not full. I mean, you have a partner. Why? Because you were developing technology when I was paying you. So typical, depends a little bit on the country, but more or less in every country is we are partners. Okay, because I was paying you, come on. You were in lab that I paid and I was paying your salary, and now you want to have the 100% of the interest. We are partners, but not the full thing. So we are partners, typically 50-50 or 60-30 or something like this. So, and then that means there will be some royalties at some point coming back to the university. Okay, probably you can live with that. But something deeper, spin-off and startup. Tesla from Facebook, Fernando. Is exactly that. So very important. It might be that in the future you go to some venture program, some program of, I don't know, to launch startups. All of these programs will help you to decrease the market risk. There are many methodologies, lean startup, design thinking, whatever. All of them, they look into this. You don't know about the market, so I'll explain you how to extract information. This is the difference between a startup and a big company or a large company. The company has already customers and I know everything. If I want to put another camera in the iPhone, I have all the information to know if this is success or not. But if I want to launch it from the scratch, I don't have any information at all. So I don't know how to do it. Then all of these methodologies will say, okay, get future of potential customers and twist their arms to extract a little bit of information, and then you move a little bit, you do another experiment. This is you try something, you test it, you modify it, and you try it again. This is decreasing the market risk. But when you are, and this is what the business school will teach you. So you join this program and you say, oh, fantastic. Now I know how to make a startup and increase the chances for success of this startup. Fantastic. But when you are in a spin-off, there's not only market risk, there's also technology risk. And there's no business school in this world who will explain you how to decrease technology risk because they don't have a clue about technology. So don't get fooled if you enter. It might happen to you. They will say, we teach how to become an entrepreneur and launch a startup in 3 weeks, in 1 month, in 2 months. That won't work for something that is connected with technology risk. This is slower, and you need to go step by step and try the technology and see what is happening and it makes sense or not. So spin-off, not only market risk, this is the same with startups, but also technology risk. And this difference is key. This is why business schools are super bad with spin-offs. So now you know. So this is what we are discussing. Now I'm going to move relatively fast, and I'm only going to stop in new areas. A word that is here. This POC means proof of concept. this is proof of concept is what you got when you are reached this TRL7. In the jargon of spin-offs, it's called POC, proof of concept. In the jargon of a startup, it's called MVP, minimum viable product. It's the same thing, but for spin-offs, we use this, POC. So basically, if you are involved in a spin-off that is like the case we are using, TRL 4-5, what you need is money to move or to build this POC. Once you have the POC, you are in TRL 7, and regular investors will come and, all right? One thing. Well, this is what I was explaining. So second type of issues. So I call them this first type, the framework issues. So it's more like around you. And second type of issues is about funding. We have already discussed. And I put here some figures so you understand the European thing, but very quickly. So is a problem of talent? No, these are more or less, even Europe is a little bit better in terms of talent compared to because we have more population than the US. It's a matter of using this talent to produce good science? No. So here you have, okay, maybe we are a little bit, in some areas, a little bit better, in some other areas, a little bit worse than the US, but okay, more or less. The big problem is here, is the money. Right? This is in the Draghi report, this is in every report, this is the European gap we have discussed. Huh? So, and the difference is one order of magnitude. So that's a problem. It's not a small difference, it's a huge difference, and you have it. So the thing is, okay, we need to close this gap. And basically we need the money. First gap is, there are two types of gaps. First gap is the money to build the POC, and then is the money to do the scaling up, the big money. What happens with European companies is you create them and you look for funding, and at some point they move to the US. This is a disaster for Europe, because I mean you have spent public resources. We are a public university to painfully build something, and then it goes to some other area, and same happens to many other countries. So it's like the US being a vacuum cleaner, no? So you work for me, quietly, and then and this is key for countries. They want to rise their income or their quality of life or whatever other macroeconomic indicator. They need to think how to do it to stay, no? And case Spain, Europe is one of these cases. So we have like three types of potential approaches. Funds who are specialized in deep tech, so they understand which is the deep tech problem, and they understand it's 10 years, it's not 5 years, it's more like 10 years. Same happens with the most well-known case is in bio, in health, because of the test, hospitals, always 10 years, or 15 years. And can we do something with private funding? Can we convince them in some way? Can we do something with corporates, large companies? These are the big questions. The answer in Europe is basically these days, this is a market failure. This is not working. The market is not working to do this. So we need to put public money into this. But then there are rules. One of the rules, if the money is to launch the company, then the public money can go only up to 50% of the total money. These are Brussels rules, to avoid distorting competition. So basically, my life is, if I need this money, I know more or less half of the money I can get it from public sources. My problem is looking for this other half of the money. Basically, this is the issue in Europe. And why do you think it's not working? Imagine, no? Coming back to this case, the hydrogen case. Oh, I have fantastic, good new technology. why not convincing large corporations to invest in this? This is going to be the technology, a game changer. This is going to be the next big thing. So you are a company in the energy sector, large company, and this is peanuts for you. This is small money. Why are not you paying this? And okay, you check if this works. Okay, you get it. If it doesn't work, who cares? Why is not really working with corporates? What do you think is the issue? Because that would be a solution also. Technically, you look now, almost every company has an open innovation department. So they are looking for new ideas outside the company. And they are also, maybe they even have corporate venture capital, so a fund just to buy stuff. But finally, in Europe, again, the TRL issue happens. Oh, come back when you are in 7. Yeah, but come on. The opportunity is now. It's not when I'm 7, maybe I don't want you. I don't need you. So still, companies need to mature. Maybe they are too comfortable. It will be a longer discussion. All right. So, and also I put here some, if you're interested, I can explain you, but I put here some ideas on how to solve this issue, or the type of approaches I use. For instance, how to convince private funding. Because if they bet on this company now, the multiplier they got, it will be higher than if they bet in a later stage. So you need to explain this carefully, and probably you need even to promise a number there. 5 times your investment. And something will happen if you don't comply with this. So they can convince, because a fund, it has other investors, so typically the general partner of the fund needs to convince it's called in the jargon is called LPs, no limited partners. So the one who's running the fund needs to convince the people putting the money in reality, for instance. Okay, and almost last slide. The third type, the managerial issues. This is the other one that doesn't matter, that we were discussing. The tech founders need a business management team, same level. The best will be to have someone in the business side who has already gone through the same process. A serial entrepreneur. This is the ideal situation. You've done it a number of times, so you know how to do it. The only thing, not so many of this type of people, and difficult to convince them because they are in demand. No, the market is looking for this type of profiles all the time. That is a good opportunity for you also, no? So you do this once, twice, and then your phone will be ringing all the time. No, people will be calling you help because you know how to do it. And there are people specialized in this, taking deep tech companies and making them happen. But if you want to help them, then this is the key thing. If you are in a deep tech spin-off type of company, is the mentoring. So typically, it's not that you directly hire the business or the management team. So you start having some mentors. Typically, you work in energy, you want a mentor who's already a C-level person in a key company within the energy, because this will save you a lot of hassle and issues and problems, because they tell you, no, don't do this, because this is not important. These are the figures, go in this, I'll call you someone, talk to this person, will help you a lot. Mentors are the key when you are growing, when you are at the starting of the scale up. This is the most valuable thing. And if you are lucky and these mentors fall in love with their idea, then they might become interim C-level, so for a time, meanwhile, no? And let's see what happens afterwards. This is why when you're running like us in incubation acceleration, this is the technical word, no? to help this spin-off moving forward. The most important asset is having a pool of mentors good enough, because this is you are full of questions and you're desperate and you want someone to talk to and ask. Okay, so this was my touch of reality. So now you have hopefully a little bit of an understanding of how a deep tech spin-off works, and now maybe more prepared if you have a chance. And I am desperate looking for this type of profiles. Maybe one of you are interested or want to, so you can contact me anyway, anytime, and more than happy to talk to you. So thanks so much.
Well, I think that we have some minutes for some questions.
Of course, if you want questions,
Then we can pass
More
to the next.
more than happy. But only complicate difficult questions. It's not about opportunity. So I wouldn't. It's not easy to spot the right opportunity. But if you get a deep tech company who is already in TRL 7, no, it's about to take the wave, no, and do the scaling up. Maybe that would be fun. The part from TRL 4 to 7 is difficult, but in TRL 7 is when the companies, maybe Manuel will explain a little bit their case. Companies, when they are 5, 10 employees, this is a hard life. But in the moment they move into the 30, this is, you still see everything, but it's already companies. So there are salaries, for instance. This is important. Yeah, please.
So how is one of these spin-offs born? Like, is usually a researcher in the university who is curious about it, starts developing an idea and thinks, okay, this might have a future, let's try to contact some private sector partners, or is the other way around, like a private company thinking, oh, I think we have future around this, but I have no clue how to develop this. Let's try to contact the university or researchers or.
Good point. Companies, why we have a higher number of spin-off companies than others? It's because we are a technical university. So it means our researchers are already working for companies. The only thing is typically they work project by project. So there's a company and they say, oh, I need your help on this particular. And so you're already in a way working for a company. The only thing is you are helping in this. Can you help us? I don't know, how to run a simulation in cities, because cities are very difficult and we don't have a clue on how they did. No, maybe you start as a researcher from university because you were good programming, something that is difficult. This is typically TRL 3. So it might be that you are a person that because of this connection with companies, there's a day where you realize, I can also do it. Why working just for a company in a particular project and not building something that can be used by a number of companies? So this sometimes happens, but it's more probable that it is the university, me, who does scouting. This is the keyword. So I spend my days, typically I don't go building by building, but I create a program with a big carrot saying, who's in TRL 3? Who's already working for companies? And then I check and I see if the people behind this are good enough, are interested. But this is scouting. So scouting both of technology and about the people behind the technology, because this is the material. Because it might happen that you have a technology, but it's not the right people. So it has a lot of psychology behind, because it's going to be difficult. It's also a mistake if you promise things that are not real. So you say, no, this is going to be super easy. No. I tell the founders, say goodbye to your partners. for the next 4 years. Are you ready? If not, I understand you have a personal life, but your personal life is going to suffer. I don't know a single case where this is not. So if you are not, and it's fine, perfectly fine, but be aware of this. But it's scouting. The key thing is scouting. It might happen. Eh? Sometimes they call you, but I will say it's 10% of the cases. 90% is you chase people and explain the opportunity and explain how, and then you see the reaction. If the reaction is not good, forget it. Don't. Technically, only if you take a sample of researchers in a good university, whatever, technical university, only between 10 to 20% of the people are ready to become entrepreneurs. They have the knowledge, maybe they have some of the skills, but where the part that is missing, these psychological papers, published in scientific journals, the missing part is the attitude. When you become an entrepreneur, you become a change maker. And Manuel maybe can explain a lot about this. No? And being a change maker meets resistance. People will say, well, no, and they will, if you fail. So you need to have this attitude to confront difficulties, to be resilient. If you don't have it, why suffering? There are other things in life that you can do and enjoy. The key thing. So measuring psychologically, we have, for example, in our programs, we have a coaching part. But in reality, it's coaching. But in reality, we are also seeing if the person has the attitude. Can you change? Knowledge you can acquire. The skills, more painful, but you can acquire. Can you change the attitude? Yes, but it's harder. It's harder. Manuel can explain a lot on this probably. Yes, please.
Is it a case that a lot of companies fail to scale from like the TRL 4 to 7, and that's because they have a lot from the experience? That's why investors are a little bit reluctant to invest in that. In your experience, is it like a lot of companies fail in that phase, and that's why what creates the resistance to investment when it comes to like investing at the early stages?
There are thick books on open innovation and the issues, which are the issues and why sometimes it's working and why sometimes it's not working in companies, in large companies, no? And I can point you, if you are interested, I can point you to relatively thick books explaining, okay, this case worked because of that, this case didn't work. Why they wait until TRL 7 and not betting what will be much more logical if you want to stay at the edge of technology in companies a little bit earlier. There are many, but I keep one. Is something that is called the not invented here syndrome. So when you are adopting or taking something TRL 4 within a company, it means you need to prepare the company for someone from outside putting, let's say, breakthroughs or radical ideas within a company who has more or less a structured pipeline. So it's much easier for these companies to plug something TRL 7 because it's already there. So it's more like a matter of putting in this pipeline, but in a later stage where, okay, it's industrialize this thing, no? This device or this system, much easier. But when you need to plug it before, this will disrupt because you will need to create something new, it goes in a different direction. And the company, maybe the head of that department, typically the open innovation development department, something like this, will say, I don't have the personnel, I will need to change this, my life will be complicated, and this will take 5 years, 10 years. I prefer to stay away and wait until this is more mature. So I think it's more about how the structure of the company, how the pipeline of the company moving from research development into something that is innovation works. So in some companies are more prepared because they are more flexible and they have the right people. But most of the companies, it's too hard for them. So this is my explanation, but it's part of the explanation that are in these thick books on open innovation. That was a good, difficult question. I like it. Yeah, there's one more there. So I'm taking your time. We used to work together 14 years ago, 15 years ago in a big project on cities. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very big problem when trying to pull something from the university, from researchers, at least in Romania, but also in all of the other countries. There is a very big problem in the universities, in the academia, and it's called publish or perish. So every invention or whatever optimization you do in the university, you do it because you need to publish. Or if you're at a state university where you are a full professor and you can just teach for the rest of your life, that's not the issue, but you don't do anything new. So as a researcher, you need to publish that. When you publish it, all of the intellectual property is open and goes away. If you want to publish a patent, at least in Romania, well, it's easier not to, because the patent office, the National Patent Office, it's a very slow mechanism and it takes 1 year or 2 years to publish
Correct.
that. And it will be very probable that someone else will invent that stuff and publish it or patent it. So how would you mitigate this problem for
I-
spin-offs?
I
Or is
will-
it?
No, this is a super important problem. It's exactly a fantastic description of the problem. I belong, in Spain, we have a group of experts advising the ministry on tech transfer. And this is one of the issues. Huh? So there are two things that you can do. One, there is, let's say, external framework for the system, and another that is internal. So I'll start with the external. So we have convinced the Spanish ministry to create a career for professor researchers that is not depending on research, it's depending on tech transfer. Okay, so because it's the root of the problem, publish or perish. You publish and then you advance in your career. So we are trying to set up a track where you advance in your career if you do tech transfer. So if you are able to work with companies, launch spin-offs, and patent things. So we replicate the same system, but with tech transfer. It's already in the making because there's some resistance because of funding. But this is, so you will have, let's say, full professors, but not because of research. You will have full professors because of tech transfer. This is good for universities because one of the problems is if your best researchers start companies and go outside of the university, you lose your talent. So what I want is researchers who launch companies and stay at university. What I always say is, what I like to see is the parking lot full of, I don't know, Porsches or good cars. Because the message is, you can go at the university, launch a company and get a lot of money, but you still work at the university and lecture and keep on working. So this is one way, creating a parallel track. If you are interested in the details, I can provide you, or I can send the details to my friends in Romania. So I don't know, but this is one thing. And the other thing is internal. We explain researchers when they are still in their PhD and when they are postdoc, so still young, that publishing is a decision and you need to pay attention. So it's not that you publish everything and because you're obsessed with publishing. So typically we explain them that you're working in a domain and you need to break this into pieces. And you need to decide when you are going to publish something, if this is not going to be like a wall or a condition that will stop you in the future to launch something. And then you decide. But it's awareness. So we build that awareness, because if we don't tell, people just simply blindly follow. Okay, everybody's publishing. I publish, no, because they are telling me, if not, I'm lost. No, we try to explain. Publishing is a decision. Of course, you need to publish a little bit or something because you want this career, but think twice. Maybe you want to publish something that is a little bit more general, that is not clashing with a future patent or with a future some type of trade secrecy that will help. So don't put everything, especially don't put the know-how details. This is the key. This is the key element. Make it a little bit more general, but don't kill yourself in the future. And then if you decide you want to put it, okay, at least you knew, but not because you didn't know. That's what we do internally. We have a program only to explain this. And we do it several times when you are a PhD student, when you are a postdoc, and later on when you are a researcher. How successful? But at least we try.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for coming and for your time. And it's time now for the next presentation. So, Javier, do you want to come?
So we need to leave because I have more conferences. But you have my contact details. I'm more than happy.
Now, yeah, much better. Okay, so well, you already know me from yesterday. I'm Javier. I've been for these 2 years the main contact point at Nomon in this project. We are participating with the UPM and the rest of universities and SMEs. And today I have brought here one of our co-founders and chief operating officer at Nomon. So I think it will be very nice to hear from him their experience. I can tell you that as an employee of Nomon for more or less 7 years, many of the things that Claudio has explained, I think that I have seen how they went through them. So I think it will be nice for you to hear from them. Yeah. Oh, Manu.
So it works. Okay. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning to everybody. I wish I were Claudio, but I need my notes. Sorry. This is the first time I said in my experience as an entrepreneur. So my name is Manuel Alvarez, and I'm an anonymous entrepreneur. I thought that a good way to explain what entrepreneurship is like would be to look at it as a journey, the journey from the business idea to the enterprise. But before we dive in, let me ask you, how many of you have thought to start a business in the next few years? Not many. I don't know. How many want to become a civil servant? Or it's just to adapt the jokes? No, this is a joke. My wife is a civil servant, so no jokes about that. Okay, doesn't matter. I expect to convince you to be an entrepreneur in the following years. And first of all, sorry, these are the no, sorry. I don't know why it's okay. This is the content. These are the contents of the talk. Maybe you are wondering, why am I talking about this? And it's a good question. I'm sure many of you are asking yourselves if I'm really the right person to reveal the secrets of entrepreneurship, and the short answer is probably not. But I will try to share a bit about why I'm here to talk about it, and then I also walk you through through the journey itself, from the business idea to the enterprise, sharing some insights from each stage along the way. So again, why am I talking about this? Well, it has been mentioned a bit in my introduction. 13 years ago, a friend and I decided to start a business. Well, many of you in this moment, maybe you are thinking, wow, so young, maybe he was 15 or 16. No, I was 35 then. Yeah, I think it's a good time to start a business. And let me give you a quick overview. This is not a sales pitch, but just a quick overview about, well, that decision to create a company where has led us today. So this is Nomon. Nomon is a tech company that we founded in 2012, and we develop data and software products using big data and artificial intelligence that help our clients make data-driven decisions. And that was our core idea at the beginning. From the start, we saw an opportunity to create a new generation of decision support tools by combining the explosion of big data and more powerful mathematical techniques made possible by advances in computer power. So now our main focus is on the transport and mobility sectors, but we also work in other areas where mobility and location data are crucial also for decision making, such as tourism, retail, geomarketing, real estate. And from day one, our value proposition has been based on providing high quality, high resolution mobility data and advanced predictive analytics, which has required significant investment in research and development, as Claudio said before, is the first stage when you are in tier L4, 5. So today, this research and development activity remains critical, not only for launching new products that tap into new market opportunities, but also for continuously evolving, improving our existing products. So still we are very active in R&D projects. We've also expanded internationally. We have subsidiaries companies in Brazil and Colombia, and we have a strong presence in European and Latin American markets. And currently we serve around 100 clients and generate close to 5 million euros in revenue. Our team of 45 people is built around a solid organizational culture with a strong emphasis on quality. This is important. I will tell you later. And our growth has been bootstrapped from the beginning with steady revenue increases and consistently positive net income. And maybe this is a difference with other startups because most of the startups begins with a first round to get fundings. And in our case, we started with our own funds, a little funds, and during 12 years, we only have an enlargement of capital, so it's probably a big difference from other companies. This gives you a picture what Nomon looks like today as the result of our journey so far. And I think it's useful to keep in mind this background as I walk you through some of the concepts I'll be discussing now. So, all right, let's begin the journey. And well, I'd like to start, with a thought from the Canadian poet Anne Carson, who says, the only rule of the trip is don't come back as you left, come back different. And if you start a business, for for sure, you come back different, for worse or for better. And in my case, I think for better. I think we have told about this before. You learn so much along the way that even if you fail, you gain valuable knowledge that stays with you throughout your professional career. And I think, well, I think so. I haven't failed yet. So, but I suppose, I know really that I've learned a lot from day one. And well, all this knowledge will be available if I ever return as an employee in other companies. So remember to come back as you left and try to walk your path as in the picture, balancing the heart and the brain, the passion and the common sense, which is very important to go on. So, sorry. Let's start the journey. And what is the first essential thing you need to start a business? It's the same question that Claudia said before. The first thing is an idea. Yes, it was very easy because it's on the table of contents. So exactly, some people answer money, and it's true that without money it's very tough to get started, but without a business idea it's impossible. And not also that, if you do have a strong idea, I think you can usually find a way to support your funding if you convince the founders, the venture capital or whatever. So this business idea is really the foundation of the company. And at this stage, everything you do is about nurturing, developing, and proving that your idea has a value. So maybe it takes, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It depends. It's this path from TRL 4 to TRL 7. So when can you say that the idea has value? What do you think? More or less, you can say that when you can monetize it, right? So when you turn that idea into an actual business. And what does that mean? That's a business is when you're invoicing clients, paying salaries and covering suppliers and generating a margin. So then at that point you have a business. So you are making money with your business idea. You have proved your idea and now you are making money. But to grow, scale, and sustain that business, you need to take it further. You need to build a company. And what does it mean? Which means essentially creating an organizational culture and a structure focused on executing a strategic plan. That's me in few words what a company is. And these are the 3 phases I think we have in the journey from the business idea to the enterprise. And I like to compare the growth of a business to raising a child. Because if you think of your business idea as a baby, for example, in this moment, all your energy and attention are focused on the baby. So when a baby wakes up in the middle of the night, you wake up too, and you don't get much sleep. And it's the same for an entrepreneur. You don't sleep, the same. Because if you need extra hours or to finish a proposal, or you need extra hours to solve a coding issue, or you need extra hours to handle any other challenge, you do whatever it takes to nurture and protect your business idea, your baby. So the goal is that your baby, little by little, can stand on his own feet. And so what does a growing business look like? The next stage. Yeah, that's right, a teenager. A teenager is stronger and more independent than a baby, but it still needs all your attention to keep on track. If someone has a teenager, knows that, to keep on track. So when a baby wakes up, like a teenager, the business, the growth can be painful. In a teenager, the bones stretch, and you look hopeful, and you have moments of doubts, and you have moments of overconfidence, plenty of awkward faces. You are a teenager. You are a business. Running a business feel the same way. Even you might even find you're flirting with your customers, but not literally, but it's almost the same. You have to convince them. So when this stage comes to an end, it's supposed that the teenagers should be ready to enter adulthood. By then, he or she is expected to have developed the mindset and the skills to take on the next level. In our case, the next level is becoming a full-fledged company. And well, an adult is a more complex person, but most of us work in the same way. We need a life plan, a set of goals to achieve, and we tackle these goals while navigating the challenges around us. A business is the same, a company is the same. We set clear goals, we create a plan to reach them, and move forward by understanding our strengths, the weaknesses, assessing opportunities, considering the risks. With this approach, we pursue our objectives and drive the business forward as an adult. So we can say that an enterprise, a company, is like a human being with a lot of human beings inside. Okay, so let's move. Sorry. Let's move to the first phase with some reflections. Well, here in the picture, you see that sometimes patience is not always the optimal way, and you need to change the direction. And the first reflection has to do with that. You need to be flexible with your business idea at the beginning, because, and I think that Claudio said something like that before, your goal is not to prove how clever you are. Your goal is to meet the market needs. So you might have an extraordinary technical solution, but if it doesn't address what customers actually want, it won't succeed. So it's important to adjusting parts of your initial idea as needed. For example, in our case, I would say that we were more focused on creating simulation models, and then we came across with a database of data coming from mobile network, and then we developed a solution to extract information from this data set. And today, this product is almost 80% of our commercial revenue. So you have to adapt something, sometimes your initial idea. Second, practice or prioritize customer development. What does it mean? Well, the more you involve your clients early on, the greater your chances to succeed. Because especially if you are starting a tech company, you have to, you have to be sure that you are talking the same language that your customers, and that you are using the same jargon of the industry, because that helps you to better understand their needs, and above all, to build trust with the customers. If you speak the same language, it's better. Third, surround yourself with strong partners. Work with people, clever people, whether they are suppliers, collaborators, or academic partners, who bring skills or knowledge you don't yet have, because maybe you are 4 or 5 in the company, so you need to bring this knowledge and learn as much as you can from them. For example, again, we started with a research and development project funded by the European Commission, and then I think that it was the 7th frame program, yes. And we worked with a lot of universities and investigation people, researchers, that help us to better understand what we want to do with our technology. Fourth, explore every path. This is important in this phase of research and development. Don't hesitate to test all possibilities, especially in this phase, as I said, because you never know if the insights you gain could be valuable later. Sometimes we stick the easiest path and miss out on great ideas. So it's important to, or not to be lazy, I would say. Fifth, make the most of your luck, because hard work is essential for true, but it's not always enough on its own. So a bit of luck helps too, and make sure that you take full advantage of all the opportunities that come your way in the moment. Without luck, it's harder. So if you identify an opportunity, take the advantage of it. Okay. And what about the business? The second stage. Well, here you say on the picture something that Claudio told before about the state of mind. If you are like the person of the left, probably it will be difficult for you to create a company or to deal with this challenge. But if you have the feelings of the other persons, well, maybe you can prove it. So the first important thing is to create a strong value proposition for your customers. And why? You have to make sure that you have an attractive value proposition for your clients and build trust around it. Because when you don't yet have a dedicated sales teams, because in this phase maybe you are only 8 people, 9 people, 10 people, your first customers become your best advocates. And that means that they are going to help you to sell to other customers. So think like you are like an evangelist, and your customers are your believers, and they spread your word. So it's very important to have a strong value proposition to convince them, and then they convince others. Okay, second, cash is king and P&L is queen. Profit and loss account is the queen. So who do you love more, dad or mom? It's very difficult. There are people, there are supporters of cash and supporters of P&L. And if I had to choose, I think I would go with cash, because even if you are generating revenue, if you don't convert that revenue into cash, your business can quickly struggle, especially early on when your financial stability maybe is not where you like it to be. So it's very important to take care of the cash. But nevertheless, it's also crucial to validate the business model. And you can do that by ensuring that it's profitable. And it's needed to do that before you think on scale. If you don't have proof that your business model works, it is not going to scale. So as an example, for us, in 12 years, we only have one with a negative EBITDA. And all the years we have closed the accounts with a positive net income. Maybe this is different for other companies, because many companies choose to raise the sales instead of have a P&L with a positive net income. But in our case, we thought that it was very important to prove the market, prove the customers, and to prove possible investors that our business worked. So this is a personal decision, obviously, for each entrepreneur. And other important issue is avoid technical debt, because it's very common to rush development to keep up with market demands at the beginning, but it's important to balance delivering new features clients are asking for with staying true to your roadmap, to your own product roadmap. So you have to balance both things. If you in this stage, building up a technical debt can lead to major headaches down on the road, because in the next stage you have to make things that you have developed here. So avoid technical debt as you can. 4, promote organizational culture. This is important in this phase in the business. Think that maybe we are 10 or 15 people in the company. So by the time you have reached this stage, probably you have likely established a work style and you have clear the values you want to see in the company. And that's the moment when you have to build this organizational culture, because your team is still small and therefore it's easier to manage. So it's essential to ensure that those values carry forward as your team grows, because if not, maybe you will find years later that your company doesn't look like the company you wanted. So it's important to continue the organizational culture. 5, keep an eye on your competitors. Obviously, from day one, it's important to stay aware of the competition. But at this stage, it's particularly important because new products or lower prices from competitors can have a seriously impact on your business. So it's important to keep an eye on your competitors, because you are still in the phase of to have a business. You don't have a company in this stage. So maybe your skill to answer these new products or these prices is not as strong enough. So so make it a habit to regularly assess what competitors are doing and check in with your customers every day, every time you can, to ensure that your value proposition still holds strong. Okay, the last one is prepare your business to become a company, a true company, because it's not the same. A company is more complex. And what does this mean? It means thinking about all the roles and all the functions that ideally need to be covered in the organization, even if you don't yet have enough people to fill each one. And this might mean you'll end up with more roles on your organizational structure or your organizational chart than people to handle them. And this means that your team members, especially the management, may wear multiple hats, because you have to develop a lot of roles, but with the same person. But setting up this structure early on is one of the best ways to prepare for growth. So as soon as possible, I think is a very good practice to design a quality system that obviously have to be simple and fitted to your current size, but scalable enough to expand as you grow. So I think that to think bigger or thinking big is a good practice. Okay. So now we arrive to the enterprise. What aspects should we have in mind for this stage? Well, the picture, you see that if you combine a lot of effort with round tools, the results are zero. And this has to do with some of the points. The first important aspect to take into account here is to share the vision. When you have the company, maybe you have 40, 45 people team. So you have to ensure that you share the vision. And by this point, the company likely has yet a strategic plan in place. I don't know, a rolling 4 or 5 year plan that include a SWOT analysis, market research, your business roadmap, the product portfolio, international expansion strategy, the operational plan, the human resources plan, and of course, the financial plan. All of this is the strategic plan. But having a strategic plan is only part of the equation. Setting it with your team is just as important. So for us, just to know, for us, the first step in onboarding for new employees is giving them the strategic plan to read, because we believe that people work better when they understand the bigger purpose behind what they are doing every day. And that's very important. They need to know for what they are doing the things, okay? And in addition, obviously the strategic plan is like the Bible that all management must believe in, or the pole star that should guide the company's decisions. So you must have a strategic plan and share the vision with all the company. And talking about management is a critical point. This is a critical step to evolving from a small business into a mature company. And I think that Claudio told before about that. It's tempting in this phase to promote early employees by expanding their responsibilities into management staff or management roles. Sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't, because not everyone or not everyone has the skills or the desire to lead departments or to lead people. So you have to keep in mind that. At this stage, you may need then to bring in experienced professionals who have developed the specific skills your company requires. And when choosing these leaders, and remember that there is a difference between a boss and a leader. A boss is the person who gets you to do what you have to do, but a leader is a person who gets you want to do what you have to do. Is different. So I think that there are 3 essential qualities to look for in these leaders that will cover the management. First, they should have both technical expertise and people management skills. It's very important, both. They should embrace the company's culture and values. They must share the company cultures, and they must fully believe in the strategic plan as the Bible. So you need, or for a candidate needs to accomplish these 3 points to become a good manager. And then, refine processes is related a bit with the picture. Now your company is growing, the team size is bigger, and maybe the processes doesn't fit as well as they did before. It happens. And maybe it's time to refine the quality system, keeping it simple but more adapted to new reality. And above all, focusing on efficiency. For instance, in our case, we define some processes related to infrastructure, to cloud computing, that these processes were thought for a small scale, and now we have double our cost because we are using the same processes, and we are in the process to change that because we didn't expect we didn't expect to have, for example, more data that we have 10 years before or whatever. So maybe in this phase you have to refine processes, and also because the company have more people, and you need to establish effective communication channels and so on. So this is an important point. And then keep innovating, even that you have a consolidated product portfolio, and even that maybe your company has big profits, you need to keep innovating. Why? Because I think this is essential to maintain. It's essential to maintain a strong research and development. Research and development activities, because you never know when competitors are going to upgrade their offerings or when a new disruptive technology might emerge. So to stay ahead, a well-structured R&D department is key. Also, it's key to have an R&D agenda to know what you are researching. And this R&D agenda, I think that has to balance quick wins and enhancements to existing products with mid and long-term research, because this approach can lead to breakthrough innovations and potentially open up new product lines. So you have to balance both activities. And 5, employer branding. In this stage, your team is growing, and that means that it's increasingly likely that some employees will leave. For example, the annual turnover rate in tech companies is around 20%. So it means that in a team of 50, for example, in our case, you might expect about 10 people to leave each year. So you need to replace these people and then hire more if you want to grow. So it's a huge task. So to attract and retain talent, an employer branding strategy is essential. And that means that you have to have a plan that includes a clear employee value proposition. In our case, that value proposition is very focused in offering a career path compelling enough to keep people with us for at least 4 or 5 years, because we think that that way they have time to see if their professional goals and the company's vision align well enough to continue the journey together. So at least 4 or 5 years would be ideal. And last, the CEO role. I think that the CEO role is worth examining in detail in other slides. So, okay, regarding the previous bullet, talking about people, probably this is one of the most important roles of the CEO. Building the right team is one of the most important responsibilities. In my opinion, the CEO should be as involved in recruitment as possible, and not only or not just for senior management roles, which is obvious because it's critical, but also for mid-level and even for junior positions. And why? Because this involvement matters, because the hiring process is the first opportunity to identify candidates who align well with the company values. So most the CEO is in this process, the better. Moreover, it shows candidates that the CEO is personally invested in their selection processes. So that reinforces the importance of a cultural fit, from the start. So this is an important role. Maybe the most important role of the CEO at this stage when the company is growing. And it is also important to teach others in the company how to recruit in a way that reflects and reinforces the company's culture. Remember that we want to remain the culture, the organizational culture during all this journey, because we want the company as we thought at the beginning. So beyond recruiting, the CEO also plays a key role in mentoring employees. And again, not just managers, but also team members in all positions. The more the CEO is involved in setting the vision and organizational culture, the faster employees can embrace and embody it. So this is an important role also. And in addition, the CEO plays a crucial role in spotting internal talent and promoting people into new roles, especially management positions. And to do this effectively, the CEO needs to stay connected with the team. And to be honest, I don't know how can it works in companies with thousands of employees, maybe with the help of a talent spotting team fully aligned with the CEO. But in a company of 50 people, I certainly is achievable. And well, second, apart from people, is sales. The CEO needs to be actively engaged in business development to meet financial targets. It's obvious. And this involvement is especially crucial during international expansion, where markets vary in maturity, because sometimes when the market is mature enough, it's more easier to sell, but in new markets it's difficult. A CEO's direct engagement can help build trust with new clients in these regions, and the same applies to launch the new products. The CEO's presence with customers sends a strong message of commitment from the company. If the CEO overlooks sales, you can end up with a productive factory, but with an empty shop that puts in risk, obviously, the business success. And finally, the most important, probably, the strategy. The CEO is the captain who guides the company on this journey. And that means keeping a steady focus on the goals set in the strategic plan. Even though this plan may evolve over the time, the CEO needs to be clear about these objectives and communicate them effectively to the management team. And in turn, the management team must believe in the CEO's vision to be aligned. Well, one of our colleagues has a saying for when someone goes off on their own path with aligning with the company's goals or the team. He says they are doing a brave heart. Remember the movie when the Mel Gibson character charges forward into battle and no one follows. In this case, obviously, we cannot afford brave hearts in the company, and especially not from the CEO. So if you are the founder and the CEO, and you find yourself truly enjoying this stage of the company's journey, remember that setting a clear and inspiring strategy will always be your most essential task. And to conclude, well, we have seen that building a company is a long journey that starts with a business idea and ultimately leads to a fully established enterprise. And if you fail along the way, remember what said in the first slide, the only rule of the journey is don't come back as you left. So take every opportunity to learn. If you succeed, you will probably recognize yourself in this picture, while others may see only the success. You'll know firsthand the many building blocks it took to support that podium. I don't know if you see the words, but desire of being entrepreneur, passion on your work, focus on your strategy, effort every day, training to learn more, failure in more than one occasion, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. That means that sometimes it hurts, but you do it because the reward is in the future. Many doubts when things doesn't happen as planned. Early mornings and late nights, especially with your baby, with your business idea, and a lot of patience with your teenager, with your business, and so on. So that's all. After this talk, how many of you think about starting a business in the next 3 years? Oh, I'm afraid I discouraged you. Okay. So how many of you want to become civil servants? Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning to everyone. Sorry because this is going to be a bit swift, but we are completely out of schedule and we have to get a coffee or we are not going to be able to withstand all the day. So what I'm going to tell you today has to do with the administration of the capstone projects. I'm going to be quite brief, but keep in mind that in case you have any doubt, you can call me or you can send us an email and we will solve your doubts. So first of all, I want to tell you that the topics and the definition of the topics were performed both by the companies and also with the contribution of the academic committee of the capstone projects. This is quite important because we aim to have the capstone projects as close to the industry as possible. And this has been possible as all this master with the based on the collaboration with the companies. The academic organization of the capstone project is we got an academic committee, and this academic committee is formed by one representative of all the universities that are part of the project. We have a delegate from ITU and delegate from IPB, another one from UPM, from BME, and also from EMPC. As the head of this academic committee, it is myself, Alejandro Fedaque, and I will be the one that will keep in touch with you in case there is any problem. Our main role has been to looking for the capstone project in the companies that are already collaborating with us, and also trying to define the technical goals. This year, as a change with reference to the last year, we have leave some space for your ideas because you know that you have some expertise in several fields. So we know that you can collaborate to refine and improve the quality of the proposals that we have passed to you. Also, another thing that we feel that it is quite important is to try to homogenize the difficulty. It wouldn't be fair if one of the capstone is much more difficult than the other. So the first thing that we try to do is to try to homogenize the difficulty and try to adapt the objectives to the teams that have been enrolled in them. So with that, we offered you that capstone project offer, and we have already set the teams. We sent that offer and that assignation about 2 weeks ago, and you are already working on these capstone projects. So one of the most important things that you might be wondering is what we are going to be asking you to deliver. So we are going to be asking you to deliver at least 2 things, and another one that might be applicable or not. First of all, you will need an essay. Don't worry about taking notes on this. We will send you this information in the future days. So we will be turning in an essay. It is important to know that you will be handing in only one essay for all of the team, because what we want is to represent what you will be doing in your companies. So you will be handing one document for the whole company and not one document for each of the partners or each of the members of the company. This essay should be as succinct as possible. That's why we have set a limit of 100 pages. Last year, they were no longer than between 60 and 80, and it is perfectly okay to summarize all the content with this page range. So what are the main contents that we need? The main contents that we need are those. Of course, there are some of them that might be applicable or not, but of course, you need a subject that if in case you are gonna make any changes from the proposal that we have already agreed with you, you should tell us beforehand. We should evaluate any change, and in case it is okay for us, and probably it is, we will tell you. We need a summary. For that, we usually want a 1 page or 2 page at maximum summary. This is quite important for us because we will help us to make it publical, to advise what your achievements have been. We need an introduction, and it should have a state of the art, which is the present state of your capstone project. The context, what challenges are you facing? The outline of what you will be doing in the rest of the document. There should be a list of objectives, no more than 4 or 5. No, you will be developing those objectives in the next sections. And it is quite important to set an economic evaluation. For us, this is a key point of the capstone projects, because we know that we are trying to develop digital twins in companies. And one of the main questions that we are facing is, okay, how much is this going to cost? And how much is the revenue going to be if we are going to implement a digital twin? So for us, this economic evaluation is a key factor to be turning in. After that, we would like to have conclusions and also a bibliography. You know, we are aware that this might be a bit tricky because we are also using a lot of online sources, but it might be useful for us to know what are these databases that you have been using. Also, to make things more appealing for LinkedIn publications and all this stuff in social media, it is quite important to have a poster, that it should be a single document. We will provide you the format, and we will be using this poster to make advertisement of not only of your work, but only of the master for the next courses. It should be self-explanatory, so it shouldn't be focused only on conclusions, but it should be explaining what was the previous state, what are the changes that you are implementing, and what are the economic evaluations and the conclusions and revenues that you might be getting by applying this capstone project to a real case. And in case you are developing some software, it will be quite interesting to hand in also those code, because in some cases your capstone project might be the first step of a future capstone project, so that code might be enhanced or even augmented in the next years. So that's why it should be handed in. It is quite important for us, as we are in a university, to avoid any kind of plagiarism. So for this, please make contact with your academic supervisors, because they are quite aware of the needs that you need to implement in your capstone project to avoid this kind of plagiarism. So any text from web pages, courses, books, articles, or any previous student dissertations could be cited, could be used, but please don't forget to make a mention of the author of the reference that you are using. Of course, you might be using AI to generate code, but not completely AI code is admitted. Probably it's not going to be useful for you, but you know that these tools might be quite helpful. But keep in mind that in case you are taking this code from, let's say, ChatGPT or whatever, you should say so. What are the roles of your supervisors? So take in mind that you have an academic supervisor and a company supervisor. Their roles might be similar, but they are not. Probably both of them are going to be experts on the matter. If you're making a digital twin of a tunnel, for instance, both of them are widely aware of what a tunnel is, what are the equipment that the tunnel has. But there is a main difference. Is the academic supervisor knows what should be like the documents that you are going to be handing in. So please consult them because they're going to help you in that matter, especially in what should be the reference type of this kind of document, what should be the look like of a document like a final capstone project, etc. The dedication, it's about, we have estimated that in about 3 hours per week. Of course, this should be not, might not be constant throughout the year. Probably he will have a more intense work in the final stages when he has to check all the documents. But maybe in the first stages, you will be having more contact with your company supervisors because he will have to tell you, he or she will have to tell you what are the needs that they require to solve. On top of that, these both roles should be connected. You should be working as a team. So the information between all 5, 6 of you should be quite agile. The teams, most of them are composed by 3 students. It could be there is only 1 of 4 students, and we have tried to match different things. We have tried to match the interests of you, depending on the work in the company you are already working in, or maybe the company you will be or you would like to be working with in the future. We have tried to mix different profiles. You know that we are already aware that some of you are BIM experts, but they are not expert on coding. So we are trying to make it as real as possible as in a company. Probably you are not going to become a coding expert if you are already a BIM expert, but you know that you have to work with people that it's smarter than you in some of the fields. So you should know how to communicate with them. So that is our main role, and that's why the teams have been assigned. The most important dates started yesterday with the first on-site meeting here in Madrid. Here we have set the kickoff meeting of all the capstone projects. You have yesterday already started working on them, and you will be continued working on them on-site in the next on-site event on Budapest that will be held in February, for the 3 days between the 20 and the 22 of February in 2025. On that side, you should be quite aware of what you will be doing, and only the final stages should be carried out in the last 3 months. Before the final presentation of the capstone project that will be held in Paris in September, you will be handing in a capstone project proposal at the end of July. We haven't stated the exact date. Probably we will be flexible because we are quite aware that you are working in your company, so you probably will be having hard times in some periods of the year. So we will be flexible on these dates, but keep in mind that you will be handing in the document between the mid-June, first week of July. This is quite important for us because in case there is some error or something that should be improved, you will have still July and August to improve that, and then to have the final turning in the document in the first day of September. And after that, the most important thing that you will require or you will require me to tell you is what are the marks based on. So this is quite important because 40% of the mark will be assigned by your academic supervisor because he will be the one that has already checked the documents. The company supervisor is also quite important because you will be getting the 20% of the total mark out of his ideas, how you develop the work that he has proposed, and also the 40% of the rest of the mark will be getting based on the presentation that you will be performing in Paris. So by that you will be getting the 100% mark. For us, it's quite important to know that everybody has been working in the capstone project. That's why we have divided the mark of the presentation in different parts. I take as an example here the team of 4 people. So the presentation should be carried out by all the 4 members. So the mark will be divided by the performance of each member. And that will be all. I'm sorry if I've been a bit swift, but it is important to have a coffee now. So, and in case you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them. But I will have to tell you that I will really thank you if you could send me an email, because I have to be at 12 in another meeting. Thank you so much and good luck.
It's opened here. So I just started and it will be on. the
Okay,
screen.
we will start when o sea, we start the presentation
Okay,
in the other room.
okay. But
So
can you see this from the?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So you can
Later
start it.
we start.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have, yeah.
yeah,
If you can use
I
it.
will let right
You-
there.
Yeah, do I have to put the USB?
Yeah. Just turning. Yeah, it has.
Oh, where is
Yeah,
it?
right there.
Oh, it's there.
Just turning on.
Can we try?
Yeah.
Perfect. Great, thank you.
You're welcome. I will.
Oh, love it there, okay. Great, thanks.
¿Intentar qué? No lo entiendo.
No tengo ni idea, por eso te he avisado antes.
Claro, pero es que yo pensaba que era de la tasa de
Perdón.
started, but they told me that they will start.
I will tell them.
Okay.
Está grabando.
Yeah. I start the preparation of the team and until they are coming. Yeah, that one, the right one. Oh, yeah. So, welcome you. If it's okay, then we can start. Sorry for the late. We have to wait for the defense, but it will finish in minutes. So now I will have a workshop style presentation, but basically you will work and I will just talk. So that's why I would like to ask you to sit like groups, like even numbers. Okay, 4, 6, or 8. It's good if you are in a capstone project. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if you can sit, now we have time, so you can make, you don't have to see the screen too much. Okay, so because I will give you 3 games, okay, that we play in our next hour. So if you group in your capstone group, if you are alone or just 2, make 2 or 3 capstone groups. Okay, so I'm not sure what are the groups here. You can move the table. It might be here. So, we have to move. One group, okay, for the game. Now you can hear me. Okay, just sit around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. One group is here. They can be alpha team. You are 2, 6, maybe 3 teams. That would be. Yeah, you don't want to be part of it. It can be. Can you create one? It can be 2 groups. You're 3 only? Or 4? 5. It's okay. Tamás can sit into the group. Say, okay, someone goes. Perfect. So we have 3 groups. Perfect. So yeah, you can join. Just sit around. Okay. We try to be fast because I'm sure you're hungry after a long night of partying. So I know it's if you have a pen or a pencil, it will be useful later.
Okay, thank you. So I know that this is the first time you personally meet, and I know we had a very good party last night. So somehow you know each other, but we will have a game. We start with game one, when is like you have to sell your teammate. Okay, so it's like a personal introduction game. Someone you can tell to the group, one person, and someone of the group try to sell you. So there's an idea behind that, and there is Tamás from the BME who should introduce me, but we were thinking that we show you an example of this game, right? So you have to say 3 to 5 facts, some positive things, what you do, what you like, okay, about yourself. And of course, the others are listening to you. And this is the point when you get to know each other, listening to you, and they try to sell you. So I will tell something about myself, and Tamás will sell me, and someone can buy me as well. Okay, so I'm from BME, associate professor at the Budapest University of Technology. You know that we are part of this program, and also we are part of the Center of Excellence program of this DigiTwin. So we try to emphasize the entrepreneurship program on digital twins. So that's why I have a structural engineering background as well, and also I have some entrepreneurship education and my own experience. Actually, I had my own spin-offs, and I will start a new one, I hope, at the end of this year from the BME based on some intellectual properties there. Actually, I was the former innovation director of the BME. We dealt with this kind of technology transfer, intellectual property, startups, spin-off incubators, accelerators as well. And some personal things. As a structural engineer, one of my research field is the seismic design and earthquake engineering, and I'm part of the national Hungarian search and rescue team as a structural engineer, and I support their work on the field. And I was involved in the Turkey earthquake last year. If you remember, we were also there, the Albanian earthquake, and I have several education in the civil protection from the EU as well, and we used to go biking with Tamás. So we have a close connection. So you tell something about yourself to the team, and someone try to sell you, like Tamás. Maybe you can speak to the mic. Yeah, but online.
Saying if you are not good at something, you still can teach it, right? But as you see, he's a teacher at the university, but he validates his profession by attending or getting involved in earthquake protection, checking on site in Turkey, in Albania after the catastrophic events, how the building behaves. Another thing is, he was the head of innovation at BME, but he's an entrepreneur themselves. So it validates that he's committed to these professions and areas. And the way he talks and the way he dresses, I think he's kind and open personality. So I think we can trust him. So I'm trusting. That's why I'm biking him all over Europe. So that's the way I want to sell him to you. So I hope you will also trust him. So
thank you, Tamás.
I don't know the price.
Yeah,
I mean your price.
Yeah, you have to pay something. Okay, so it's something like this. Okay, it's like an introduction game to each other. I give you, I don't know, we have 1 hour altogether. So approximately 10, 12 minutes for this one, because we have other games as well. So you discuss in the group, someone can start. If we don't have time for everyone, you can continue later as well. Okay, so please try. We go somewhere, and even if we have some very good example, someone can stand up and we try to hear. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that if we have time. Okay, so choose one who will talk about themselves and someone else will sell it. So can you ask the guys turn that on? I have no idea. Hello. No. Yeah, I want them to talk, someone. So if you can turn this on and each other, thank you. Okay. Okay, thanks. It's brilliant. Red is up. Okay. Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And if it don't work,
It's okay. Jó, de azért fel akarta venni nacsó. Azt nem tudom, hogy azért felveszik-e. Megnézni, igen. Hát mert nem tud itt lenni, mert órást kell. Lesz, még persze.